Hey, what is up, guys? It's Giltspire here, and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Online challenge. Now, with live commentary. If you are watching this video, please do me a favor and comment down below. Let me know how the audio quality is. Only way that I will know if it is on point or if it needs a little bit of work. I tried my best in testing. Hopefully it's working well. Hopefully it doesn't distract from the gameplay, as the entire goal of these videos has been and will continue to be to show off the power that is presented to you, as well as myself, with Mono Green Eldrazi Tron. With that being said, I'll now be able to provide my thoughts and reasoning to why I'm making plays in real time. And without further ado, we're about to jump right on in. No real changes to the list. It's been pretty stock since the release of Foundations, have had good success with it. Looks like we are on the play. Let me quickly update that in my spreadsheet. All right, and we're against Chalky Milk. That's one I recognize off the top of my head. Hand looks interesting. There's no turn 3 or turn 2 plays. Even if we were to wheel into a, I guess like Ugin's Labyrinth and Talismans get us there, which does make it a little bit interesting. We're on the play, so we're not drawing into a lab, which makes it feel a little bit worse. I feel like we could have some better hands here, so I think we do mulligan down to 6. Comparatively, this is looking a little bit worse. 2 mines and a Talisman of Resilience, not feeling great. No third land, taking us to the Karn on turn 3. First hand was looking better, but looks like they'll be keeping 6, us down to 5. This we will be keeping. I don't think we really have a choice not to. We'll drop a tower. Drop is all is dust. Though we have the resilience, and if there is land destruction or hate, it might not be a bad idea to drop the forest. Let's drop the forest, drop the all is dust, keep it there, and start off with a power plant and pass the turn. Let's reorganize our hand real quick to how we're going to play it. You may have noticed before that I tend to organize my hand based on when I'm going to play those things. Another Talisman, not a bad find. Let's play Resilience first. Pass the turn. And unless we draw into a temple, we'll end up just going tower into Thought-Knot Seer. Take a look at what our opponent is playing. Right now, all we know is that they have a black-red fetch land. Looks like, so Boros something. Normally I'd say energy, but no Jangantha. Makes me think that it's not Boros Energy. Could instead be Storm. Okay, it is Storm. So that's good to know, and actually kind of okay for us to have Thought-Knot Seer here, as it will give us a peek at our opponent's hand. Let's see. Past in Flames, Artist Talent, that seems like a new addition. Also, for some reason, not popping up on my main screen, instead popping up on my secondary screen. That's a little bit weird. Tempted to swap where OBS lives and where Magic lives then. Hold up, because that would be, you know, something I might want to see on the same screen. Can I not move this window? Oh, that would kind of suck. Whoop. Here we go. This will look a bit better. Cool. Yes. It'll pop up on the actual screen. Yay! Now I can actually see on the same screen. You guys can, so it really doesn't affect anything that you guys can see, but it's better for me. Artist Talent. Let me read this. Cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. It's not a once per turn thing. Non-creature spells cost 1 less, so it acts as a pseudo Ruby Medallion or Ral. Interesting. That is turn 2. It costs 1 red less, so they can play it next turn. That's actually really good. Reckless Impulse or Valakut Awakening. Reckless Impulse digs 2. This digs 1. So I think we grab the Impulse. It's always interesting to see like what do you actually want to grab from Storm. I guess there could have been an argument for Desperate Ritual instead, because now they'll play Ritual. Oh, they drew into another Impulse. You gotta be joking me. Okay, yeah, that's a thing that happened. Sure. Ral and Manamorphose, so they'll probably play Manamorphose here. Draw a card, generate 2. Sounds a bit loud for me. I'm gonna probably knock this down, maybe down to 50. Let me know if it's too quiet for you guys out in the comments. I just turned on the brightness, not the volume. Go me. That's a bit more comfy. Let's see then. Desperate Ritual. Also, I'm at it. Let me move my Excel spreadsheet down to my computer screen. And then switch back to OBS. There we go. Much better. Yeah, just overall, not a good game 1 here. It's really reliant on our opponent whiffing. They also played the Wooded Foothills. They played a Desperate Ritual. I wasn't really paying too much attention here. Did they play the Valakut Awakening? No, they pitched it looks like. So the only thing in hand that we should know is the Past in Flames. They wish. What did they wish for? They're out of Storm count of 5. They draw another card by pitching an Elegant Parlor? Yeah. Artist Talent actually seems really good here. Underworld Breach. I think this might just result in the win for them. I don't think there's a way they lose with a Wish, Underworld Breach, and a Past in Flames. Those Breach common in this? I feel like this is a new list. Like, I haven't seen this version of the list before, and so I'm kind of scratching my head of what I maybe should have picked. In retrospect, seeing how nutty Artist Talent is, maybe we should have grabbed the Artist Talent. Yeah, I think I'll just make that note here. On game 1... On turn, what was this? Turn 3 should have chosen Artist Talent with Thought-Knot Seer's triggered ability. Yeah, I think that may have been the right pick, and I just didn't realize it since I've never seen Artist Talent in Ruby Storm before. At this point, a lot of people might just scoop because it's pretty confident that we're going to lose here, especially with them flipping Ral. But I would like to see more of their deck in case there are some additional surprises I'm otherwise unaware of. Otherwise, looks pretty standard for a Boros and Ruby Storm list. I do also want to note that Boros, Ruby Storm, and this is probably going to be a loss at this point. I don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts about that. They cast the Past in Flames, did they? Oh, no. They have it in exile off of Ral, so they will eventually. Like I said, this is a guaranteed loss. All they need to do is get up to 18, cast Wish from Graveyard off of Past in Flames into a Grape Shot, and they win. So it really is just stacking Storm count at this point. There's nothing really to this. They have the win. It's just good to see what your opponent's playing. Also force them to play it out. It is not impossible that they make a mistake, as silly as that does sound. There's 17, so they just need to cast one more thing. Past in Flames, that's 18. Yep. Okay, so actually they only need to get 17 because, yeah, Past in Flames will be 18, which will be 19. And then Grape Shot will be 20 for the 20 damage total. Yeah. They got it. So nothing too outlandish outside of the Artist Talent. And I guess the Underworld Breach I don't see all too often, but in this case it was effective in getting them there. Not sure why they just wouldn't use the Past in Flames instead. Okay, hold on. Why are they still going? Hold on, I got a text message you need to respond to while they're doing this. Okay. Oh, there it is. There's a Grape Shot. 23. They just wanted to make extra sure. Could there have been an argument for us to hold up mana for Kozak's command? I don't think it would have mattered in this case of how they're filling their graveyard. So I think we were dead either ways here. Yeah, I just think we were a little bit too slow in the grand scheme of things. Probably should have taken Artist Talent, and it simply cost us. So, it is what it is. We learn from our mistakes, and that's why I play as much as I do, to try and learn and then share that learning with all of you. So, let's go with Stonebrain, Dismember, and Leveler. And we'll strip out Mycospawn, Thought-Knot, All is Dust. And that should be good. Stonebrain will be interesting if we are able to play it early enough, as if my opponent does not bring in Air Placement, or rather does not bring in a Empty the Warrens or a Grape Shot, then we should just win. This is not keepable. This is still not good. Like, a Devourer's in here, I might be tempted for an early Thought-Knot, but otherwise, it's just not working. 2 Mines, a Chalice, and 2 Devourers. What could we do with this, if anything? I'm also realizing, why does it look like... Oh, my OBS is off now. That's cute. Didn't realize that was going to be a thing. I'll have to fix that between rounds. I'm less than thrilled about that. Cool. Learn something new every day. Yeah. So, good news is you guys can still see the majority of what you need to see. Just a little bit annoying. Some growing pains. I think we still need to mulligan this, right? We need to mulligan down to 4, because otherwise what does this do? At most we're looking at a turn 3 Karn, but by then we're losing. I guess we could turn 3 Chalice for 2. Maybe that's fine. Maybe that's what we need to aim for here. So I guess we keep. Let's pitch the World Breaker, pitch the Karn, keep the 2 Devours and lands. And let's do this. Gemstone Caverns on the draw is really unfortunate. Let's stack our Devour triggers. There's the lab we need. So like take that. I think I just need to keep the lab on top. So I'll go Urza's Mind Pass. We need to hope that we survive long enough. Elegant Parlor, Surveil trigger resolves. We don't have any interaction for that right now. There's the lab. Is there a reason to play that right now? There's no reason not to. I don't think they're going to be running anything that'll interact with my land. So let's go Ugin's Lab. Tuck the Devourer. And then I'll keep up my ability to respond just in case, rather than just passing the turn. Ruby Medallion, probably going to crack the fetch, and then Desperate Ritual, maybe even present Ral. Okay, just going to Ral. That's fine. We're in an okay place. Ooh, a second Ugin's Lab. It brings us up to 5. Is there a benefit to that right now? Not really, right? Because we go to 5, we find a temple, go to 7, we don't have a Devour in hand. If we go to 5, what can we cast that we otherwise couldn't? Not too much that we just couldn't play the lab next turn, so I think we just go with Mine. And let's play the Chalice on X equals 2, and then pass the turn. If they don't have Static Prison, Shattering Spree, etc., we should be fine. This now pretty much locks them out of the game. Wish is something to be concerned about, as that will let them get a piece of artifact-based removal. So that's the only thing that I would be concerned about right now. And yeah, there's the Static Prison. That makes sense. The Boros list normally does have that in the side, though it does cost them 1 mana, so that could bring me through the turn. Oh, So let's see, Ruby Medallion, Ritual, Impulse. So there's the Impulse, or the Ritual, then they'll play the Impulse. They're not gonna really want to play the Medallion right now. Impulse gets them, I need them to whiff here. Yeah, okay, that's looking good. Depends on what they have in hand. I imagine they go for another mountain. Okay, so I guess they're trying to flip Ral now. Let me scroll this down. They want the flip, but they're not there yet. They need to get that 8. There's another Impulse. Okay, well that's a problem. Need them to whiff again. 2 lands. Eee, that's not 2 lands. The Glimpse is a problem. They need... Okay, so they lose the flip there. Okay, well, now the game is practically over, right? Past in Flames will pretty much get them there, including now they have a billion more chances for Ral to flip. So the game is, at this point, pretty much over. I'll just let them run through it, and in this time that gives me an opportunity to fix the screen, I suppose. So silver linings. So I want to... I'm gonna have to readjust it and everything. I had everything perfect. Ugh, annoying, but it is what it is. So we're going to, I guess, fit the screen, and then I need to make it a bit smaller, right? At this point, to then line up with both this and... Okay, so first let's just get it lined up with the canvas. Okay, they got there. I was like, they're gonna get there eventually, I promise. And then let's get this adjusted. Alright. That looks good. That looks acceptable. Let me know if it's a little bit too small. I think it's a little bit smaller than it was previously, but c'est la vie. Yeah. So... Oh, I was like, wait 1 second. I'm not dead yet, but they're just going to Past in Flames again and then Grape Shot. Oh, they had 2 Grape Shots. Okay, yeah, that's fine too. Whatever works. Yeah, the Chalice got us there, and then unfortunately the Static Prism robbed any chance we had of coming back in this game away. So, it is what it is. Unfortunately, a rough round 1 loss. Not much in the way of interaction in game 1, game 2. And it is what it is. Sometimes we win some, sometimes we lose some. We have a 50-player challenge here, so let me do the math real quick. We're looking at what type of record do we need? For top 8. We are going to need, let's see, edit input, 50 players. We're doing 6 rounds, and we're looking for top 8, no IDs. So, guaranteed at 15 points. So we're going to need to win our next 5 in order to guarantee top 8, though we could squeak in with 12. Looks like 2-3 players will squeak in. So at this point, we're going to hope Chalky Milk continues to win. Our opponent match win percentage goes up, so on and so forth. So we'll have to wait and see. But in the meanwhile, I'll go ahead and pause the video. Not much else to talk about that match and recap. I think the only thing that I may have done differently that entire match, like I said, it was in game 1. Turn 3, I probably should have chosen the Artist Talent with Thought-Knot Seer rather than the Impulse. After seeing how much work that Artist Talent can do, it's kind of insane. But with that being said, I'll talk to you guys in just a bit. All right, and we are back. Once again, on the play, this time against Jacoby Pablo. Well, I think I said that right. It's actually not looking too bad. We have Ugin's Lab, Imprint All's Dust into Talisman. Turn 2, play Temple and One Ring. Feels kind of good here. So, then no Jingantha, so likely not Energy. Let's imprint and pass. Yeah, turn 2 ring, pretty strong. Looking like it could be Dimir Murktide. Thought, Dreams of Steel and Oil, kinda rough. Yeah, rip. Let's do this. Continue to ramp a bit, and it could be Dimir Murktide. So let's slow him down a bit. Could be argued to play that on 2, stop some things. Let's play Tower. They already know we have one in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do have 7 mana if we really do want to. All is Dust next turn. So I won't pass the turn in its entirety. Frog does make me tempted to, especially with them tapped out. 6 cards in hand. There could be a force. Is there any reason not to? I don't think so. So I think we just bring back All's Dust. Sowing Myco Spawn. Okay, this makes things interesting. They don't have 3 cards in the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would leave us with 5 at most. We also could go 6. I think, yeah, Sowing Myco Spawn might be the better play here. So let's do that. And let's go ahead and exile the Watery Grave. We'll search. And realistically speaking, I think we want to grab ourselves another Urza's Temple. Actually, there's an argument to be made about, not Urza's Temple, Eldrazi Temple. There's an argument to be made about Cavernous Souls. It pretty much will make all of my Eldrazi's uncounterable. Having that with Thought-Knot Seer is really good. So I think Cavernous Souls works here. And let's name Eldrazi. And then we'll pass the turn. This does mean if they don't have another land, we're pretty solid. Okay, so they're going to pitch that, and pretty much all their 1-drops at this point, which they have a lot of, to beef up their Frog. Oh my god. That Chalice on 1. Okay, so, yeah, we all is Dust next turn. We'll take the beat. I guess the only big rough thing would be if they have a Force and a blue spell in hand. Another Sowing Myco Spawn, really? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can't do both, but I don't want to take more beats. Yeah, I think it's just right at this point to All is Dust, right? I think that makes the most sense because they're going to float the Frog again. So let's do that. So 2 more. All is Dust. We'll attack in, pass the turn, and then try and lock them out of the game through land destruction. Wow, that Chalice on 1 was just perfect. Also, I did adjust the scene a little bit. Hopefully make things a little bit easier for you guys to see. So hopefully that does help some. This is Dimir Murktide. We did win. Nothing I would do really differently there, I don't think. As far as sideboard's concerned, 2 Dismembers and a Cityscape Leveler is pretty much all that I will bring in. And then we will just side out 2 Myco Spawn and an All is Dust. Nothing else really. All right. Opponents are going to whether they want to go first. I imagine they will. Yeah, let me know if the scene looks good. I decided to keep the game log for my own sake, but minimize, hit it behind the deck list for viewing purposes. I think it's well fit. I think it looks good. Let me know if it doesn't. I'll adjust it. This hand's interesting. Turn 1 lab, tuck leveler, play resilient since we have this member in main. That allows for a turn 4 Karn or a 1 ring. Well, this is definitely a keep. We'll pass the turn at this point. They mulligan down to 6, which is fantastic for us. Means less counter spells, less chance of a seize effect on 1. More chances of us of resolving Karn or the 1 ring. We'll actually want to play the 1 ring first. That way if it resolves and they have a threat on board, we can always block with it if needed. And also just that protection early will be good. I like my odds in this matchup. I think right now I'm sitting at like a... What am I sitting at for Dimir Murktide? Sitting at a 55% win. Shocking that in makes me a little bit concerned. It screams to me that they have a consign to memory. So I'm going to play into that. They don't have a consign to memory, which means they have either Thought Scour or Consider. Okay. So that's great news for me. All right, so that tells me they have a counterspell. Let us use Chalice as bait here. I think we go Chalice on 2 and bait them into the counterspell. Yep. Sounds good. And then Harbinger. Land would be great. Not a land. That does set us back a little bit, but not the end of the world. We'll just ramp a bit here for talismans. We are good as far as color sources, even through Harbinger, which is nice. They do have a black source still. Ooh, interesting. Dismember. 2. Well, I can do both, right? If I do that, that gives us 7 for World Breaker. So I think what we do is let's bait out a counterspell with the 1 ring. If it resolves, that's fantastic. Opponent's thinking hard on what should be pretty simple. They could have a Bowmaster as they do have a black source up. That could be what they're debating about. Maybe casting that first so they get their ping in. That'd be fine with me. I'll still get the 1 draw off at the very least. Okay, there's the consign. And then what we'll do is we're going to move to their upkeep. And then we're going to go ahead and dismember the Harbinger now. Do they have another one? No, they have a either a Murktide or Oculus. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with this. Oculus is a bit rougher than Murktide would be, but this is okay. I is okay with this. Ooh, another dismember. Okay, That raises some interesting questions, right? How much mana do I have available to me right now? I have 7 for Eldrazi, 6 with Not. And I kind of want to dismember this Oculus. It's the biggest threat on board. If I do, I can play it and Karn. And which means their manifest creature is going to focus down Karn. Let's play a round. Same time, like we could block it, but they're going to manifest more creatures. But it would allow me to then Karn go for an EE. and sweep the manifest creatures, which doesn't feel bad. Yeah, you know what? They don't have counter magic up. I think this is a good time to play the World Breaker. Their solution to this would be a shoot the sheriff, so I get rid of their swamp. Force them to fetch for a black source. Okay, they put on top. A little bit concerning, but not the end of the world. This can easily block the Oculus. Yep, no attacks here. Oculus triggers. Nothing I can do about that. Power plan. Okay, so this... Let's think about this. How do we want to do this then? Karn for 4 leaves me then with ample dismember mana as backup. 4. So I have 8 Eldrazi, 7 non. So I don't. Let's go a little bit awkward because I'd like to. Well, I guess no, it's not time for me to untuck the leveler just yet. So yeah, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 for Karn. See if they have anything. They do have a counter. They do not have a counter spell. That there's an Unearth Friends. Karn resolves. Let's tick down Karn. Let's grab Engineered Explosives. Let's play Engineered Explosives. Let's activate Engineered Explosives. And let's go ahead and they would have forced my Karn, so they don't have that. They would have consigned my Karn, so they don't have that. So yeah, we're good just to go ahead and dismember the Oculus. And then attack with World Breaker. Three cards left in hand. What you have, friend? 3. Could be another Oculus. It's another Oculus. Okay. A little bit annoying. Return of the Oculi. Tower. Oh, so we can do something really fun here, actually. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to generate 2 mana with the temple. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're then going to minus Karn. We're going to grab the Cityscape Leveler from underneath Ugin's Labyrinth. Really fun, cute interaction you can do with Karn, since Cityscape Labyrinth, though imprinted, is in exile. Hi, Butter. My cat is in the computer room with me as he was fed. We grab Cityscape, and then let's cast our friend Leveler. Target Oculus. Pass the turn. Well, not pass the turn. Move to combat. But looks like it doesn't even matter, as we will walk away victorious. Butter. Hey. Don't play with wires, you fool. You're going to disconnect my internet, which you did, but it reconnected, so it's fine. MTGO might ask me to reconnect at some point. The difficulties of recording with a mischievous little 2-year-old cat who is too big for his own good. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're too big for your own good. Maybe I'll have to post some pictures of him on Twitter and Blue Sky at some point. But with that being said, yeah, that was a pretty good match. I think in the future I might end on the end game screen rather than going back to main, just because it looks a bit better with how I have everything set up. Once again, if you guys have any feedback for how the video looks or my audio, please do let me know. As per usual, the only way I can get better and improve for your viewing experience is through your feedback. So leave a comment down below if everything looks good or if you might recommend some changes. That being said, we'll be back in a bit for round 3. All right, and we are on the play for round 3 versus Salvato. I'll be playing first. Looks like there's a pause, so there's likely to be a companion here. I imagine Jinkampa. If there's a 7-drop here, this hand would be so much better. I'm gonna turn 1 Chalice into like a turn 3 One Ring or Thought-Knot would have been great. But the fact that we don't makes me a bit skeptical of this hand, so we're gonna mulligan. Ooh, this though. This is a spicy hand that I like. Yeah, this is fantastic. I mean, Eldrazi Temple until Eldrazi Temple, I can either hold it for a cause command or cast Thought-Knot on 2. There's a lot of good options here. Yeah, this is good. We'll keep this. We'll drop a Talisman. Yeah, I think that's about it. We just then need to determine how we play it out, or how we sequence it rather. So we keep this. We'll drop the Talisman, and we're good. They did mulligan to 6 as well. Jinkampan's always an interesting companion to see because there's so many different options that it could be. Could be Storm, could be Energy, could be Jun Saga. I'm trying to think of what else it could be. I think it also... No, it can't really be Broodscale combo as that's normally reserved. That has Cosmos commands, so it can't be that either. Interesting. Oh, they're giving it a hard thought. They went to 5 and they're still thinking. Eee. Either really bad hands or I don't know what. It does make me a little bit concerned that they're going down this far. Unless they just had like no land hands. Usually Energy doesn't mulligan this aggressively. 4? What? Okay. It's starting to make me think it might be Storm. I was making all these thoughts before, but yeah, they went down to 4. Let's play the Temple and we'll just wait for an opportunity to respond. Okay. So they fetch. Fetching for Sacred Foundry untapped. Also Pride. Okay, so it's Energy. 2 Thought-Knots and they mulligan this aggressively. I mean, this feels like a no-brainer. We just start stripping cards out of their hand. They're already in a rough position. Let's make it even more rough. Ooh. Well, okay, so yeah, we take Ajani and pass the turn. They'll play the Mesa, and then Static Prison, rude. That's fine though, not the end of the world. They'll get a cat out of it. But we'll end up taking Flage next turn. Thinking about if they want to keep this on top. Could be a land. And if that is, that's huge for us because it means it's a dead draw, basically, of us taking Flage. It's a Guide of Souls. Interesting. I guess yeah, they're looking for land. Another Thought-Knot? We got Thought-Knot Tron over here. Okay. Let's take this. I misclicked. This is actually fine though. I'm not too upset because they'll play Ajani. We can't block. Yada yada yada. What the nice thing about this is that we can exile Ajani instead. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'm okay. Well, either one's kind of interesting, right? I think. What in the world? They really want to get through these Ocelot Prides. Okay, that's still fine. Let's again. Go for another Thought-Knot. What is happening? I have 3 Thought-Knots. They've had 2 Flays and 2 Ajanis. I mean, okay. So if I take the Flage and they play a Johnny, it means I can't block the cats without flipping the Johnny. If I take the Johnny and not the Flage, and they deal 3 damage and trigger the cats, I think that's fine, especially as I can exile it with Kozilek's command. Yeah, let's take the Johnny. What a strange game, though. I guess one thing I can't do is I can't block Ocelot Pride here, otherwise they will be able to bolt the Thought-Knot. There is also a really funny world where they don't draw a land and they have to sack the Static Prison next turn, and I get to... Oh, wow. That's rough. So that, yeah, exactly what I was saying is I'm going to be able to take back the Thought-Knot and remove Flage and whatever they draw. So that's actually pretty significant. Let's go ahead and ramp a bit. You can hold up Kozilek's command. This is fine. Yeah, I think we just pass at this point. They draw, Static Prison, they would need Galvanic Discharge, Thought-Knot enters and triggers. Okay, yeah. All the Flages, sure. It's okay. Really strange match. Still on 2 lands as well. That is an Ulamog. I mean, we have 6. Let's keep them off of lands. They're already in a rough spot. Let's kick them while they're down. And let's just exile a Sacred Foundry. Let's grab a Temple. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I don't think there's a reason, or like, I don't think there's a situation where they're getting out of that. So this is Boros Energy. We won round 1. Yeah, maybe there could. I think taking the Flage Mill's right. I don't know. Yeah, I might review that before I post, and just review game 1. Review. Just because I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, it definitely was a misclick. I just clicked because I was like, oh yeah, that's the thing I want. But I think there could be arguments either ways of which one was the right one to pick there. Probably the Ajani, because they didn't have the land for the Flage. And I think they're just right to do that. So I think I did click wrong in that regard. But c'est la vie. I'll review it and add my match notes. We get to see pretty quickly what our opponent has sideboarded, whether or not Jingantha is still a companion. Usually is going to be either Obsidian Charma or White Knight White Orchid Night Phantom, something to that degree. So no Jingantha, so yes. That is a bit concerning. We have a lot of good lands though here. Actually really do like this hand. Especially on the draw, this feels superb. So I do this, we do high. Stack the triggers. Let's take a look at top 4. Swing like a spawner really isn't great here. Mine's actually really good. The problem is with them being on the play, the chances of us actually resolving Tron, or like untapping with Tron, is so few and far between. But if we do, we pretty much take over the game. Like a turn 2 Karn's good, or a turn 2 Run Ring's good. Turn 3 even's fine. We have that right now, so yeah, let's keep the mine. Unity would allow for a turn 2 if, and here's the big if, they don't exile it underneath a Static Prison. Kozilek's Command is also really tempting, as it would be able to exile Guide of Souls and ramp us. Kozilek's Command actually might be a little bit better here, even over Tron. Yeah, I think we go with Kozak's command. Let's go ahead and tuck the Devour. And I think this makes sense to me. Because now we should be able to ramp to 7 for Devour, even through a Charmaw or White Knight Orchid Phantom. We can't really interact much here, but we'll give ourselves the opportunity to tap Ugin's Labyrinth in response if needed. A second Guided Soul is kind of rough, hoping that they don't have any lands to back it up. They do. But nothing to follow up there after is interesting. Okay. Looking more and more likely that we will get rid of the Guided Souls, and we'll definitely do that. So let's set up for next turn. Let's see what they play. Don't give them any information unless we need to. Second red source would go tell us of a Charmaw. Amped Raptor. We will respond to this. So let's ramp and exile. And then once we have the spawns, let's targeted removal. And yeah, I guess actually I still want to hold a priority in case there's some niche situations like Flasia actually. So let's see where they place that trigger. Yep, so we're going to want to sacrifice a spawn response, and then we can just pass it. Yep. That is A-okay by me. Power plant, 4 mana, so let's go ahead and play Karn. That'll put a target on Karn's back, of course. They do have the Raptor. One Ring seems like a good option here, because we have 4 going into 5 mana, 6 if it's an Eldrazi. We don't have any 6-drop Eldrazi's, so I think just go with a One Ring and pass the turn. If they just have Amped Raptor after the turn, we could always even play the One Ring and not tap it, animate it with Karn. Looks like another Flage. Okay. Yep. So Karn down. Another tower. Well, let's do this. And before the ETB trigger resolves, let's draw. Just in case we draw into like a codeless command if we really wanted to cycle it, but not necessary right now. I mean, we have a pretty good next turn with Devour into Devour. They will be able to play a Flage here, but that's not going to be a great idea for them. I think the best thing they could draw into here is a Charmaw, but with the One Ring, it feels a bit better. Goblin Bombardment, that's fine. They could sack it. Oh, okay. So I'll say they could sack it, maybe try and go for Flage. I think we do exile the Bombardment with Devourer. Opponent's thinking really hard about something. I don't know what. I mean, the only instant speed action they have is Bombardment, I guess. Talisman, okay. Let's draw out the One Ring. Puts us down to a theoretical 10. Another Karn and Dismember. You know what? Karn is kind of an interesting choice here because of Flage. If, big if, they were to draw into a Arena, we would be in huge trouble next turn. They could sack the Raptor, Arena, and that would be the game, right? So we need to play both to win, but also not to lose. Devour also does accomplish that nonetheless. So 2, 3, 4, 2, hold up Dismember. Also gives the ability for a World Breaker. Bombardment's a little bit tricky though, because of if they pull into an Ajani, they would have played it last time they did. It would have to be off the top. It does put a target on Karn again. So let's do this. Let's go 1-2. Play the Talisman. Let's go 2-3-4. Play Karn. Let's tick down Karn. And we're going to grab ourselves a Tormod Script. Cast the Tormod Script. Right now, opponent only has 5. They need 6. So we'll pass until we have an opportunity to respond. This guarantees that they can't flage us out of the game. Okay, so far so good. No reason to activate Crypt right now. Paying for costs. Static Prison targeting what? If it's Karn, A-okay with that. If it's Crypt, One Ring. Yeah, that's absolutely okay. Please, save me from some damage. Okay. At Karn, that's fine. Yeah, everything's fine by me. Bombardment Karn. In response, target you with Tormod Script. And pass the turn. Actually, let's pause there. There is a chance that we'll want to dismember, let's say, an Ajani in response to bombardment. But yeah, this is fine. Opponent's thinking. I mean, this leaves them with nothing next turn, right? Opponent's thinking hard. Can't cast Flage at instant speed. Next turn we have Devour to get rid of Bombardment. Could go World Breaker as well. I think I want to hold World Breaker in case they cast their One Ring. Yep. Yep. Okay, yeah. Other power plant, we'll play that for turn. Yeah, let's go ahead and that's 5. Let's go 6. We can hold up to Devour underneath Ugin's Lab in case you want to bring it back to hand. And we'll get rid of Bombardment now. That's more of a threat than, you know, our One Ring coming back, and it'll come back eventually unless they generate some energy here, so. I think we have this match in the bag. I don't foresee them finding an out. I'm not at this rate, at least. I mean, they're at this point just playing, you know, a creature at a time, maybe 2. Our Devourers will take care of them pretty easily. I think maybe Amped Raptor would help them get back into the game, right? That'd be the only thing that I can think of. Good old 2-for-1s. Ajani would help a bit, but not enough. Speak the devil and it shall appear. Feel like... yeah. Feel like we've already seen that. Guide of Souls. Yeah, that's fine. I'll play it. And... don't think we know what the last card is. And we have Tron online. Yeah, at this point the game is over. Like there's little to no way out of this, I don't think, because we're just going to Devour, get rid of Guide. Let's return a Devour. And get rid of Amped Raptor. And I think we just, yeah, threat and lethal and we win. Yeah, we're good. I literally said last night, like, oh, we'll just not go back from the game, da-da-da-da-da. And then quite literally, you know, went back immediately. Little habits, they die hard. But yeah, good stuff. pretty clean match. I think there's like some room for improvement in game one. I think that it probably was right to grab the Ajani, not the Flage there. We'll chalk that up to a misclick because that's what it was. But I think that's the only thing you could argue would have been played better. So with that being said, we'll take another break before round number 4, I believe. Actually, let me take a look. I guess that's why I do like going back to here so I can see, but it doesn't look as good unless the game chat is open. It's dumb. Where do we place? Right now we're 15th. We have a 75% match opponent match win. I mean, yeah, we're in a good spot right now. Looks like Chalky Milk won. Yeah, so our opponent match win will be even better. So that's awesome. So we're in a good spot. We need to continue to win, of course. We need to win our next 3 in order to guarantee a top 8 spot. And if we do lose, we just need to pretty much, hope that our opponent match win percent is high enough to get us across the finish line. That being said, I'm going to take a quick break and see you guys in round 4. All right. And we are back for round number 4, this time on the draw against Peter. Let's see what they're playing. Choose anything I want to go first. Opening hand. Opening hand looks okay. This could be better if we had a talisman, so that we could ramp into a Mycospawn, though still not bad because we can go a turn 1 Chalice and potentially a turn 3 Ring. So I'll keep this and see what we draw into. Opponent's thinking here. They did start with 7. We don't know what they're playing just yet. Alright, that tells me this is either Broodscale, which I think it is, or it is Through the Breach, but I'm pretty sure this is Broodscale. So we'll put Chalice on 1 here. We could definitely use another land, because we're going to want to get Karn out ASAP. Especially if Urza's Saga here. Fleshrakers. Unfortunate. Talisman's good. I do like that. Let's play Talisman. Let's play Temple. At this point, we do pass. If I can draw into a land, that would be ideal, as that would get rid of the Saga, allowing us to stop them from getting Blade of the Blood Chief out. Would have liked to be able to play Chalice on 2 last turn. That way we can stop Broodscale. 4 cards in hand. I mean, they can pressure us pretty heavily this turn if they really wanted. But yeah, land into Mycospawn would be good. Otherwise, I think we have to go into 1 ring. Karn could be okay. Not great. Yeah, I think we're banking on sowing Mycospawn and kicking it. We'll take 3 here. That's fine. If they do hold up their current mana, that means they can make a construct. Opponent's thinking again. Boseiju who endures. Yep. So we now need a Eldrazi Temple, which we do not have. This is interesting, right? Because they're going to have a Blade of the Blood Chief. That's almost guaranteed. We could stop the combo. But it's also likely they might just grab a Haywire Might. And if they do, they can exile Chalice, whether it be on 1 or 2. We could alternatively play a Karn this turn and stop them from doing so. They could have Bladed Bloodchief in hand. Oh, actually, I don't have enough mana. Never mind. Right, they got rid of Ugin's Lab. I only have 3 regular mana, 4 with Eldrazi. And this is the tricky part, right? What do they have in hand is the question. Is it better for us to go Thought-Knot here and potentially disrupt their combo, or is it better for us to set up for next turn? I think it's better for us to go Thought-Knot. Pass the turn. Walking Ballista and 2 Ancient Stirrings. What am I more worried about here, right? I'm more worried about a Broodscale, and Ancient Stirrings lets them get there faster. Yeah. So let's grab the Ancient Stirrings. We're more concerned about them comboing off here. Turning on mana. We have 3 total, 4 total, 5 include 4 Eldrazi. I imagine we'll see Blade of the Blood Chief. Nope, Haywire Might. Okay, so I guess, yeah, they're trying to be able to play the Ancient Stirrings. That makes sense. But they won't be able to until next turn. And we'll be able to replay our Chalice. Springleaf Drum. Oh, that's a huge draw. Because now it's going to allow them to play Stirrings this turn. They can tap the Eldrazi Spawn token for it. Yep. So we'll play the Ancient Stirrings. Good news is we have another Chalice in hand. Another Fleshraker is actually really freaking scary. That thing is very powerful in pairs, especially triplicates. Having all 4 is just a death sentence. This is a little bit nightmarish. Like to get rid of those. I will say with them only having Walking Ballista in hand, this is okay. A land would be excellent. Because I think we want to play the One Ring. We do not have the One Ring. So yeah, let's play the Sowing Mycospawn. At the same time, yeah, because Broodscale doesn't win them the game here. So that is fine. Sowing Mycospawn. Let's grab another temple at this point. And I don't think they're going to be attacking. We can at least start pressuring them. At the same time, like, is there an instance where I need to block? If they draw into a Blade of the Blood Chief, they generate 2. But I wouldn't want to be blocking the Thought-Knot Seer anyways. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. X equals 3. I'll take 2 down to 13. Or down to 14, 3 down to 11, at most down to another 3, so a theoretical 8. I think it makes sense for us to pressure here and just hold back the Sowing Mycospawn. At most, they block with the Spawn token. Prismatic Vista, crack it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it didn't really change the math as far as the Walking Ballista is concerned. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Didn't really change the math. Yep, we'll sacrifice 1. We'll take 2. Oh, actually, was I right with my math? No, I was not. Ooh, forgot about that part. But that's still fine. They're not going to attack the Fleshrakers. I guess they could ping out those Sowing Mycospawn to only 4 if they really wanted. Yeah, I mean, that's an option. They could do that, but they will not. Devour's really not doing anything here. They have no cards in hand. They would need 2 cards for them to combo off here. They can push Ballista up 1. Just 1 time the 4. We can 2, 3, 4. 4. So that's awkward because it's 2 Eldrazi Temple, right? 2, 3, 4. Grab Lab. Then I'd only have 3. Yeah, it's not great. We can also destroy a land. Set them back a bit. Oh, if that lab was still on, that'd been fantastic. Karn helps a bit. I think the One Ring might be the way to go here. At the same time, Kozla's Command is a bit scary. Ooh, actually, Kozla's Command is really scary, but one only mitigates that temporarily. Okay, you know what I can do? Here's what I'll do. So let's go 4, 5, 6. Yeah? 4, 5, 6. Exile Eldrazi Temple. We're then going to grab a Ugin's Labyrinth. Ugin's Labyrinth will trigger. We'll tuck the Devour, resolve the Exile and the Search, generate 2 mana, and play Chalice on 1. They could ping it down, and attack with 2. They could attack with all 3, and then ping me. Yeah, I think we just hold back here. A little bit worried about that. Walking Ballista. Pass the turn. Next turn I can Karn. Draw into a land, that's fine. Especially a tapped one. 3, 6, 7. Okay. Another Karn. So I have 4, 5, 6 mana. Playing Karn forces their hand. So let's go Karn the Great Creator. This locks down Ballista. So they'll activate it probably once to pump it up to 4. Yep. I think we might win by robbing them of mana here. Oh, interesting. They're going to ping down the Thought-Knot. So that way they can draw a card here. They're a bit desperate. This is fine. I'm okay with this. Alright, let's tick down Karn. And now we have to think for a moment. We have access to 2, 4, 5, 6 mana. Not enough for a leveler, as much as I would like that. Engine Explosives could get rid of all the Eldrazi spawn tokens. Ballista, 2, 4, 6, 3. I could take out 1 Flesh Raker. Yeah, I think we want to just limit them on available mana in case they draw into a cause command. I think that's what I'm most afraid of right now. So yeah, let's go EE. This will destroy my Chalice. I do need to note that. It's the only thing I don't like about doing this. But no, it's fine because Karn. Yeah, I think this is right. Okay, and now we hold. With Karn on board, it makes their life really difficult, but these Flesh Rakers are a nightmare for us. 2, 3, 4. That'd be what, 5 damage? Another Flesh Rake, you gotta be joking me. This is trouble. This is big trouble. Because that's gonna be 2 damage from the cast. And then another 2 damage from the ETB. No, that's 4 damage from the cast, right. Oh. Another 2 damage from the ETB. If they have one more card, I'm screwed. So I'm down to 4. Yeah, 1 colorless cast, and I'm dead. No. I mean, the messed up part about this card is that it is a cash trigger. What were my alternatives? The alternative was the One Ring, right? I don't think there's anything else to do other than that. This is Gruul, Basking, Broodscale combo, loss. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could have done there was play the One Ring and it would have given us a turn. Yeah, it's rough. This deck is an interesting matchup because like getting Karn out's definitely a priority, but in moments like that, just like, oh, that's messy. Yeah, I think it's still right because then they would have still had Ballista out. They would have played the Blade of the Blood Chief. They would have attached the Ballista. They would have sacked it. They would have killed me on upkeep. Yeah, so Karn was still right. It just sucks that we lost to triple Flesh Raker. Yeah, Flesh Raker just needs to be dealt with as soon as possible. Alright, I want to play this time. I mean, this hand is good. We keep it. I think, actually, we want to tuck to Devourer, hold the World Breaker. I think that's better. Yeah, this is better. This also allows us to cause command a Glaring Flesh Raker, so that feels good. Otherwise, we can just ramp directly into World Breaker, and also be in a pretty good position from the start, I think. Yeah, I truly think that this deck, Gruul, Basking, Broodscale combo, or just any of the variants, are really underrated, and it's starting to pick up more and more notoriety. I think Karn is the right pick here. We already have our bases covered. Yeah, so let's go Karn. So we go Lab. We tuck. Talisman and pass. We play Temple. And if they play a Delayed Halfling, we'll Bolt the Bird. They don't. Play to the Blood Chief. Okay. So I'll play Temple. We could just play Karn here. I think that makes the most sense. And I think we just threaten to lock them out of the game with a local metal coating. Pass the turn. Even if they were to play a Basking Broodscale here, we can exile it and then get rid of lands. So we're in a very good position. Malevolent Rumble, yeah, that's fine. I guess, what did they grab here? Land War Reborn. I guess they want land at this point. Alright, land for turn. We can hold up 4. So let's play Liquid Metal Coating. Coating target forest. Karn target forest. Broodscale triggers. We could... Like, I really want to just keep them off of the ability to play anything. Okay. Yeah, we just Kozak's command, exile the spawn, then we're pretty much golden. Okay, that was a good game 2. I don't feel like we're going to get that lucky in game 3. Oh, I didn't lose game 2, I won it. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy. Like I said, this matchup's kind of interesting. Karn does a lot of work, but they can ramp out threats just as quickly as I can, if not faster, really. Because they don't need to be as picky with like a turn 2, Flesh Raker or Basking Broodscale, stuff like that, where I really need to, temple and another soul land or lab and a talisman and then a land. So like we have variety and consistency, but I feel like they're just a little bit more consistent in that regard of getting threats out early. And the Flesh Rakers are just a house. They just do so much with so little. See, this is an issue. This hand is really good to disrupt their game plan, but really bad for the follow-up. They kept a 7. I'll keep this as well. Reveal the Devourer and pass the turn. Vista crack? Crack into Delighted Halfling? Ancient Stearns. That's okay. I'm okay with this. Forest. So they're short on lands. That's good to know. Trigger. We currently can't play Breaker unless we grab the Talisman, but then we can't have the Breaker. Another Temple doesn't do much. We have plenty of mana. So I think we just ship all of these. Yeah. Alright, lab. Talk. If they have Broodscale, they play the Broodscale. Hence the brain is kind of useless. If they don't have the Broodscale and are looking for it, then they might want to cast more Ancient Stirrings. So I think this is better now. And then we can Stone Brain after. Interesting. Alright, well, let's play our Stone Brain. Pass the turn. Unless they have a Boseiju here for Chalice? In which case that'd be not great. Okay, command's okay. 0 top, okay. Pass the turn. They have 4 for Eldrazi, 3 otherwise. 4 and 5 now. Looks like a Gleaming Fleshraker, a Thief of Existence. What did they pick? Well, this is interesting. The Chalice. Okay. A Haywire Mite? Wow. Okay, they had all the answers. Okay. Well, let's play the mine and pass the turn. Not much to do here right now. That's really unfortunate. Was not expecting that line of plays. It took a lot for them to get there, but still. Jesus. Down to 3, 4 cards in hand. Any plays here? He must have just drawn into the Thief off of Cause Command. Dang. One ring's not great, but I can work around it. Alright, well there's a Talisman. Makes me wish I took that Mold Breaker now. We will bring back Devourer next turn. I think what I want to see at the top the most right now is probably a Kozilek's Command. think that would be ideal. Maybe you should have taken that. Maybe not, we didn't see a Cosmic Command. Ugh, there's a ton of mana for them to work with. 4 mana. Okay, there's a Flesh Raker. Yeah, the Basking Broodscale. There's the Broodscale. Okay, do you have the Blade of the Blood Chief? For God's sake. Uh-huh. You have everything, don't you? Yeah, yeah, you got it. You got it. I mean, realistically speaking here, was the right move to instead just go Stonebrain, activate Stonebrain following turn, stopping the combo, and then play the Chalice? The main concern was that they could have just played the Broodscale anyways. And I imagine, you know what? No. I think I played that right. Now, this is in retrospect. In hindsight, because they did have the Haywire Might. I can almost guarantee they had the Might on the turn they passed, but couldn't play it because of the Chalice. Or if I played the Brain and passed the turn, they would have exiled it. They would have still later had the Thief for the Chalice on 1. So yes, Chalice on 1 I think was the right move. Their only out there was Thief of Existence or Boseiju. Yeah, okay, well, rough. It is what it is. I think we could have probably drawn a little bit better as well. Yeah, rough. Okay, is what it is. Well, I'll see you guys for round 5 of 6. We are now going to be reliant on our opponent match win percent to squeak us in. We do need to win the next 2 to even have a chance of top 8, but let's wait and see. We played some good matches. Don't really think we've made too many mistakes. I think still maybe in the Boros Ruby Storm matchup is the main one, and you could argue in the Boros Energy matchup. This one, yeah, I don't think there's much we could do there. We had our lock pieces. We had the ability to strip part of their combo out of their deck, and they just drew a little bit better. And sometimes you just lose to variance. But that being said, see you guys in a bit. Alright, on the play for round number 5 versus Fen's Feather Sven. I think I said that right. Actually, keepable hand. Temple on 1. Let's say we go Forest on 2, Myco Spawn on 3. It's kind of what we're looking at. Karn on 4. Yeah, this is looking keepable, I think. And we also get a Devour on top, which, let's keep this. Let's see what we get off of Devourer. No Jangantha, so likely not Energy. Does leave it a bit of a mystery, at least as of right now. Opponent is thinking if they want to keep their opening hand. Thinking real hard. It's possible they might be away, so I might take a quick pause here, wait for them to get back. Usually give my opponent like a minute or so before doing so, but looks like we will be back in just a bit once my opponent has returned from their break. Alright, looks like opponent is back. Let's reveal the Devour. Trigger on the stack. Opponent did lose out on like 8 minutes of time. Alright, well, I guess that's a way to win round 5. Personally, not what I'd prefer. This is like the equivalent of getting a buy, and it kind of sucks because like I'm here to play Magic, and not being able to play Magic just sucks. So, is what it is, I guess. We get the win. We now get the hope that our opponents that we lost to win their matches and raise our opponent win match percent. This does mean that we need to just win our round 6 and then see where things shake out. Well, with that being said, with a rather anticlimactic end, I'll see you guys for round number 6. Wait 1 second. Does my opponent concede? Or are we just going to sideboard? Why would they just concede off the bat? Wait, I'm so confused. I thought they conceded, but they didn't. We're going to sideboard. What? Why would they do that if they plan on playing? Maybe they don't plan on playing and they just conceded thinking that it conceded the match, but it only conceded the game. That's my thought here. Because otherwise, why would you concede? Maybe they chose to keep their hand when they didn't mean to. Okay. I'm a bit confused here. But they definitely haven't conceded the match yet. They just conceded the game. I'm thinking that was a mistake. I'll give them a little bit of time before we figure it out. But I'll probably pause the recording here at the 15-minute mark, or I guess the 10-minute mark. And I'll be back with a quick wrap-up. Okay. So yeah, opponent chose... I'm so confused. I don't understand what's happening. We'll keep this hand. Thundering Falls. So it could be Storm. A third tower, geez. Okay. Temple pass. If it's Storm, then we might want to push Chalice back to turn 3. I'm trying to think of what else is red-blue at the moment. I mean, there's Dimir, there's Izzet Murktide. I guess is it Wizards or is it Control? Could be, but I feel like it's more likely that it's Ruby Storm. Though, that's right, we would have to wait till turn 4, so I guess it's better for us to play it safe as we don't know what we're playing against just yet. Play the Chalice on 1, play Thought-Knot on 3, and then we'll know what the hell we're playing against at that point, I guess. Mountain? Okay. What in the what? Okay, starting to look like it is it Control? Or is it Wizards? Well, that does stop us from playing Thought-Knot. Another Harbinger, yeah. That's a clock. Let's play Power Plant. Karn. I mean, Karn's going to die next turn. That's fine. I think at this point we go with the One Ring. Yeah. Try and find ourselves some talismans or green sources just to get some threats on board. Also, will just take some focus away from my life total, more towards Karn. Yep, Karn down, that's fine. 4 cards in hand. Well, there's mine. Does the One Ring resolve? It does not. Invert polarity? Is this invert polarity? Flame of Venor. Oh. Oh, do they have a consigned memory? If they do, they could have just replicated it. Okay. Yeah, sure. Weird, but sure. Maybe they didn't have the consign. Expressive iteration, EI. See what they exile? Trainer. So yeah, this is it Wizards? Bobble? Yep, Bobble's fine. Will they peek at me? Yeah, peek at me. 4 to face. We're 1 land away from just casting all his dust at this point. I mean, I think we're better going. See, on 2's a little bit rough because we draw into a talisman. Feels bad, but might be better for an Allah's Dust, right? Yeah, that's a little bit tricky because we only have 1 green source outside of the talismans. And I feel like they might just counter it regardless. They don't. Okay. Then the Bugbear. That's going to be 5. So they have me on a 3-turn clock. What's happening? Enduring Curiosity. That's not a card you see every day. Okay, well, let's try for Allah's Dust. Counterspell? Yep, you got it. And I think that's lethal on board, isn't it? So, Izzet Control, we won, we lost, and go to sideboard. Okay, well, that gives us a better idea of what we're playing against. So, Dismember, Leveler, let's drop to Microspawn and Allah's Dust, and we'll ship it back. Alright, we'll take the play. No. I mean, so, like, we could cycle the command on 1, hope we draw into a land. No, I don't think this is worth it. It's risky. This is much better. I'm glad we mulliganed. The opening hand was just too risky. Like, if it was a 5, I might be more willing, but it wasn't. So I think we drop. Do we drop the lab? Like, the mine does get us towards Tron, yeah, but the lab has the possibility of pushing us even further than the mine earlier. So I think, yeah, we drop the mine, keep the lab, reveal the Devourer, and I think we just start ripping into them with Thought-Knot Seers on 2. So Ugin's Lab, Tuck Devourer, 2 mana, play Chalice on 1, pass the turn. And then we just go Thought-Knot into Thought-Knot and start beating face. Yeah, I think this is the right move. Because I can't do anything about it. Spell Snare's not doing anything. Yeah, let's grab the counter spell. There's a Thundering Falls. There's Bobble. Bobble will target themselves. See if they crack their Bloodstain Mire. They do. Okay, so they do have the ability to counter. Let's talk to Devour. Yeah, we just start smacking face. If they want to hold back, then, like, by all means, right? Eventually we'll be able to play our Thought-Knot Seer. Yep, this is fine. Tower. At the end of their turn, I'll probably return a Devour to hand, just in case we do draw into a, I guess a temple would be what we need, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, not even. We just need a land. So yeah, that's right. So return a Devourer here. There's Otawara. There's a Trainer. Trainer resolves. And they grab a Sink into Stupor. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's return Devourer. Land return, and yeah, let's go ahead and play it. Get that consign out of their hand. I do have the Snapcaster Mage, so we might still want to be a little bit reserved with our Thought-Knot. Well, now we can't even play it. They're in such a bad spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can't play the World Breaker. I mean, yeah, we just keep swinging in. They're gonna have to block eventually. Okay. I'm a-okay with this. I guess, you know what? Sinking... Oh, no, they played the Sinking Stupor. I didn't even realize that. If they would have held that, that would have been great for them, because then they would have been able to bounce the Thought-Knot. I wouldn't have been able to replay it. I didn't realize that. Okay, so they plan on blocking with the Snapcast? Is that the thought here? 4, 5... Or is it Sink and a Stupor? They get confused? They have 2 sinks? Oh, Flame. Draws 2 cards, deals 5 damage. Yeah, this is a good position for them. Yep. That was good. Does put me in a bit of a pickle now. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm two down from Breaker. They have that Spell Snare in hand. But still underneath Chalice, so... Interesting. Very interesting. Able to Mirror Breaker. Yeah, they're starting to apply the pressure now. Oh, I swear if they win off of 2 life remaining. Oh, there's the lab. So we're 1 away from World Breaker, but they can Snapcast the Consign. Yeah, things are looking a bit rough here, friends. Not thrilled by this prospect. What do they discard? I mean, they have to discard, yeah, Spell Snare. They have the Snapcast still. We'll take 4 here. They have me on a 4-turn clock. 3 turns left. Well, okay, so I need to just force them to have it, right? So yeah, let's get rid of the Fable. At least attempt to. Snapcast, and then what, 3? Yep. Oh, they have 8. They have Consign in hand. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I mean, we can bring back the World Breaker next turn. Alright, there goes that. Snapcast. Okay, Snapcast out of hand. They still have 5 cards left. They just want to apply pressure. I mean, they have a 2-turn clock here. I imagine they have counter magic, so I think the game's over. Yeah, I think they got it. Dang. That sucks. Because that, yeah, that guarantees to knock us out of contention. I'm still really confused by game 1 here. Why they just outright conceded. So odd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ugh, imagine if we weren't underneath the Harbinger right now. Things would be so much better. Yeah, they have it. There's nothing I can do here. I can bring back the World Breaker to hand, and that will leave me to 5 mana. So no colorless mana to spend for Thought-Knot. No way to cast the Ulamog. That is the game. Well, it is what it is. Still a really strange game one. No explanation for the concession. I guess maybe they just thought, based on the knowledge of a Devourer, that they had a better game 2 and game 3, and opted not to spend time on game 1, given that they already burned like 10 minutes of their clock. That's my only thought process. But either ways, it is what it is. So at this point, we're no longer in contention for top 8. That's pretty much guaranteed. Now it's just best placement possible and to the break even. That is now my goal. Well, with that being said, guys, I will see you for round 6 here in just a little bit. All right, on the draw for round number 6 against Dreams of Ashiok. This hand's not bad, actually. Talisman of Curiosity on 2. I actually want to play the Temple first. That allows us a 1 ring on 3, Karn on 4. Yeah, let's keep this, especially with the milling to 6, or mulliganing to 6, rather. Let's reveal Devour, pass the turn. Forest. Okay, so this is likely either Gruul or Dimir Eldrazi Ramp. Let's go with a Kozilek's Command. Temple, pass. And we'll keep the ability to respond just in case. I was thinking lab, are we tucking something? There is a Sire of 7 Deaths. Now 1 ring on 2 is rather strong. Wish we could get a Karn out just a bit sooner. But we'll play our Talisman and pass. Yeah, it might be best for us actually to play Karn next turn to rob them of value. Hi, sir. Please do not knock me offline. I will not follow you. Instead, I shall close the door behind you. And yeah, that more or less just... Ugh. Nothing I can do about that. We'll target Eldrazi Temple. They'll ramp some more. It's looking like a bit of a wash. We're still in it. It's not great, but we're still in it. Especially if we draw into a lab. We do not... Oh, the Mega Spawn would have been clutch. We'll play the power plant. We'll pass the turn and hold priority. And hopefully we get to keep our mana. Because if so, we'll be in a much stronger spot. Desert Temple is an interesting land. I do like that as a utility land. I feel like this might be another Summon Mega Spawn or World Breaker. Yeah, it's feeling like it. Looking like World Breaker territory. Oh, maybe not. 1. Okay, there's Stirrings. Stirrings finds a Karn. Oh, interesting. They don't normally run Karn in this list. This is... Okay, well. Finds the Karn, doesn't care. Instead, we're going to cast a World Breaker. Talisman, bottom. Temple's actually good here. Do like to see that. Not going to sack that, so I'll just pass. Eldrazi Temple. They have Karn now. That means we're going to be down mana next turn. Man, if they would have taken mine instead of Power Plant, that would have made a world of difference. Unfortunate. So we have 4 or 5 mana. I mean, we could push for Kozilek's Command equals 3. This is a losing fight. So yeah, I think we just need to ramp a bit. They're likely to Karn into like a liquid metal coating, I imagine. And Ugin's Lab, tucking a Devour doesn't do much outside of giving us the ability to cycle a command. So I'm not like inherently thrilled by that prospect, but you know what, actually, yeah, let's do that. So Lab, tuck Devour. And we'll hold here. See what we can eke out value-wise. Orange draws another 4. Imagine we'll see another Devour or Overgrowth. What in the fresh hell am I playing against? This is like Eldrazi ramp, but definitely not a stock list. Huh. Interesting. What in the what? And then they're going to untap with Desert Temple? Huh. Fascinating. Finds the World Breaker, because, yeah, why wouldn't you? We'll cast the World Breaker, probably targeting the lab. Though they'd be better off probably targeting the temple. Target lab. So I lose the land regardless. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Holding the Devour really doesn't do me much here, so I think doing this might just be better. Cavern Souls really isn't going to help me here. And All's Dust does get rid of the ramp for what it's worth, but I think it's a little late for that. Not to mention I don't think we have enough mana. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. There's Worldbreaker. Karn's still in hand. I mean, I'll trade Myco Spawns. I don't see an issue with that. If I play the One Ring, I get a turn with it before Karn comes down. If I play Karn, I get a turn with it before it dies. This do suck a bit. Yeah, I think we do need to play the One Ring. Gives us a turn. And this does seem to be Simic. Not seeing any red. Interesting. So I should anticipate seeing some consigned to memories. Yeah, I also do need to be concerned with our life total. They are getting a little bit down there. Especially with them trying 5. I mean, they have to have another One Ring in hand. There's no reason, no way they don't, right? That just is not possible. 6 mana from one land like that. Yeah, that's... This almost reminds me of, like, Mono Green Devotion. Yeah, it's kind of mono green devotion. I'm actually really curious why they wouldn't just play, I guess, the soul lands. Could you still play the soul lands with Nykthos? I guess World Breakers aren't colored though. Yeah. It feels very mono green devotion esque. What are you playing? Oh, you're trying to return to Sire. Oh, okay. Calls this command. Oh, they didn't click. I think they messed up. I'm not sure though. Not sure what just happened. I think they meant to do things they didn't. So here's coding. Yep, as expected. So they'll probably hit Temple. Oh, okay. Well, the game's just over now. Because on upkeep, they'll target a mine. At most, I'll 3 mana. So that doesn't matter. Yeah. There is nothing I can do at this point. Arming pings me. Strange that they let me get to this point. I guess they can target the Uggin's Lab on with its trigger on a stack. Yeah. So I can't do anything with that right now. Yeah, that is a thing you can do. I can imprint, but it don't matter no more. Yeah, you got it. What a strange deck. Yeah, the only way I can describe it is Simic Eldrazi Ramp. That's probably the best way that I can describe this deck. So I'll probably treat it pretty similar to the Gruul and the Dimir Eldrazi Ramp decks out there. Especially as they play Karn. So bring in Stonebrain, Haywire Might, and Cityscape Leveler. Drop the Chalice and the Allah's Dust. Do it like that. Okay. Well, we're on the play. It's not great, right? Because we can Temple on 1, Tower on 2, Kozilek's Command. I mean, we'd want another land so we can Karn on 3. But is that going to be fast enough? I don't know. Alternatively, we could see a Thought-Knot on 2. You know, let's keep this. There's a few lines, specifically if we can see some temples and or labyrinths off of Devourer's trigger. Because if so, then we might be able to K-Command on 2 for 2 and then play Karn and a Liquimetal. So let's try that. Oof, lot of nothing there. I guess the Talisman allows us for a Karn on 2, but only if we draw land. Yeah, that's not great to see. Alright, Temple, pass. Hold up in case you want to cycle the command, but it's not going to be likely. You'll probably want to play the tower beforehand. Okay, one Swept Teeth. Force, probably going to see, yep, Utopia Sprawl. Makes sense to me. Well, we got a Talisman anyways, for what it's worth. Talisman does allow us to play a Thought-Knot on 2, so let's do that. If they Uggin's Lab into a Karn, I'm just going to cry. They do not. Okay. Ooh. Alright. That's interesting. Uggin's Lab. Let's tuck the dust. They have 3 mana. For some reason, I have a sneaking suspicion that they're pocketing a consign to memory. The question is whether or not I want to hold this Kozilek's command or play the Thought-Knot. I kind of want to play the Thought-Knot to get some pressure on the board. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a peek. Oh, really? Okay. They can't play the Kozilek's command currently. So yeah, we'll take a Soy and Mycospawn. I'll play a Soy and Mycospawn next turn, probably grab a Temple, I imagine. Oh, they can play the Kozilek's command? There's no way they can kick the Mycospawn next turn. I guess it is. No, it's still looking Simic. Yep, here's the Mycospawn. Here's the Temple. So 4 mana, I can X equals 4. I'm kind of tempted to dig for a Thought-Knot. The other option is they go for Karn. They would be able to X equals 4, exile Thought-Knot, draw a card, and hit Karn for 3 is my only concern there. So 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's see if we can find a Thought-Knot here. I'm trying to think if I want to hold the green source, but I think we're good right now. No Thought-Knot. You don't want the towers. But I think we want to hold the Ulamog, because 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. If we go plus our top, play lab, tuck all his dust. 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, so let's go top. Play the lab. Tuck the dust. Play Karn. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Minus Karn. Yes. I think we just grab the One Ring here, call it a day, pass the turn. If they do what I think they're going to do, I think it might be right to attack the Thought-Knot, but otherwise it forces them to instead of digging. Yeah, so let's do that. Okay. Someone's thinking they did play a forest, right? Yes. Yeah, so I think what they do is they probably... Oh, interesting. Are they going to kick a Soy and Mycospawn? I mean, it's right if they want to stop an Ulamog, which might be their major concern. If they want to kill Karn, though... Okay, own Karn. What are you grabbing here, though? Like, local metal's not doing anything. Hey, Fire Might's definitely not doing anything. Though it does cut me off of one land. Funny enough. Oh, interesting. Yeah, they're really just trying to cut me off of threats, I guess. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dang. Yeah, one off from the Cityscape level, which to be fair is in my deck and not in my sideboard. So it's a bit of a moot point. I do wonder if just grabbing a Disruptor Flute naming card is the right move here. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we only have 8 available right now. We'd like to get rid of that card. Huh. Yeah, so let's go to combat. We need to attack down their card. That is non-negotiable, right? The player who controls Karn here, I think, wins the game. Gain 2 life. Sure. I think in this case 2, 4, 6, 7. We could Devourer. I think that's wrong. 4, then 2, yeah. So I think we need to minus Karn. We need to grab a Disruptor Flute. We will play a Disruptor Flute. We'll name Karn the Great Creator. We will play a One Ring. And I'll pass. Let's see what they got. Maybe Devour was the right move. Okay, so that suggests they have something as backup to protect their card. Okay. That seems like a World Breaker. Which then they could get rid of the Disruptor Flute. This is okay, because now I can guarantee get rid of their card. Yeah, so now I'm guaranteed to get rid of their card. This is fine. Because now we plus with the One Ring. It does draw them a card if they block the Thought-Knot, which they will. I think that's acceptable. Yep. Karn down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go with Talisman. And then Devourer. We'll get rid of a Utopia Sprawl. They'll have to attack with both, so we'll take a Sign Michael Spawn off of them. But our Karn will die as well. So, give and take there, I suppose. Because ideally, next turn we'll be able to play Ulamog, because, yeah, I just need a land. Sire, that's fine. There is our land. We're going to go with Eldrazi. So 2, just out of habit, I'll generate white. And we're going to go ahead and exile Sire and World Breaker. Ward trigger, I will pay the ward cost. Go to combat for 6. Also will draw a card here. Pass the turn. Okay. Lethal on board. Ancient Stirrings, finds them. Apparently nothing of use. Cool. Nothing we're going to change here, so we'll just submit the deck as is, run it back. We're on the play this time. This hand is not good enough, so we're going to mulligan. This hand's good. We'll keep this. We want to Ugin's Lab, tuck the Devourer, play the Talisman, play Thought-Knot, and follow up with a One Ring. So I think we are forced to tuck the tower. Yeah? Yeah. Reveal, pass. Okay, Devour trigger. We see another Talisman, a Kozak's Command, and an Ugin's Lab. Ugin's Lab's not really doing much here. Talisman is okay-ish. We go 2, 3, 4, so we want to be able to play it. So Command's probably the better choice here. So we'll go with Command. We'll go ahead and tuck our Devourer, play our Talisman, pass the turn. Next turn we'll play the Thought-Knot. That's 3 mana with the Sire, tucked. Another Kozak's Command, I do like that. Alright, here's the Thought-Knot. Do you have a consign? They do not. 2 commands. Well, we'll get rid of one of them. That's a weak hand they have right there, that's for sure. I'm gonna play the other command. Yep. So we're in a pretty good position here. We might actually want to command them next turn. Just get rid of as much mana as they have. It's 4, so that's going to be a card. Okay. What are you bringing to the table, friend? The One Ring. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, we're definitely going to get rid of the Eldrazi Spawn token. Yeah, so we could just do 0, hold up 3. I think it makes more sense just to ramp here. So 2. Yep, that's fine. Go to combat. Attack Karn. And we'll hold priority if we want to take a bit. I'm doubtful of that being the case. I'm gonna play the One Ring here. Utopia's Brawl first, then the One Ring. Yep. So I think we probably want to dig next turn for a Karn. I think that would make the most sense. Let's see, Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi, and let's go digging. Actually, we'll keep the cavern up. This will be x equals 5. Thought-Knot Seer's not doing much right now, neither is Devour. The only problem with going with the Myco spawn is the fact that it means you can only really top one, which is fine. Man, if we had one more mana, would have been great to be able to World Breaker their One Ring. Yeah, I think we just grab a Myco spawn here. And we'll kick it. Green. Sack our Eldrazi spawns. And go ahead and exile their Ugin's Labyrinth. So only have one colorless source. We'll then grab a tower and pass the turn. Can't attack, or well, we can, but wouldn't be worth all too much. And looks like we got there. So 3-3 at the end of today's 6-round challenge. Not bad at all. I'm probably going to review both my game 1 against Boros Energy and my game 3 against Izzet Control. I think there could be an argument when I was looking back or thinking back to my round 5 opponent on game 3 to have played the Thought-Knot Seer the turn prior to Devour of Destiny to Izzet consign to memory in hand, and then the Devour would force them to play the Snapcaster to then counter the triggers from Devourer. That was my only thought there. I'll probably play it back a few times and make some decisions, add some additional notes. Unfortunately, no top 8 for us today. It is what it is. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, even if you did play your best. But overall, some really good games. Happy with my performance overall. And I'll be back again tomorrow for probably just the league. Unfortunately, my partner, their work schedule doesn't align with when leagues usually fire, so, or not league, a challenge usually fires, so probably end up being a league instead, which perfectly fine, good for practice. But with that being said, thank you all for joining me here today. If you did enjoy, as always, it is appreciated if you do click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Mono Green Eldrazi Tron, or more importantly, what your thoughts are on the upcoming BNR, as it's definitely going to be meta warping, that is for sure. With that being said, I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye!